Well, hello there, everyone. Um, Today I think this is a pretty good topic to talk about because you know how every topic I talk about is basically based on my life, and this is especially a big one in 2026 now as a high schooler. Every I think about everyone is fake, right? At least in my opinion, right? They say stuff to your face, but that that really doesn't convey, right, behind your back at least. And so in this wonderful episode of Minecraft Therapy, I thought it'd be a great idea to talk about this. And the reason why mainly is number one, I've experienced it firsthand, and number two, I found this little note card that I have with little not index, with little bullet points on it. So I thought it would be a great time to, to check up on what I was thinking back then. So yeah, without yapping too much, my first bullet point says, okay, yeah, no, I think I did a great job. But so the first bullet point basically talks about how people kind of hide behind this fake persona that they have, right? This this kind of wall or barrier that kind of hides themselves. Now, I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because I used to kind of be like that, I guess you could say. But I'm not anymore, right? Or at least I don't think I am. I hope not, right? But I think the main reason why people actually do this is because I won't say that they're ashamed of themselves. Instead, I would probably say it's because they just don't like who they are, right? Or they think that someone's better than them, or they have a reputation to uphold, right? Because think about it like this, right? Let's just say you're the best card thrower in the whole entire world, right? Now this may sound a little random, but just bear with me. So you're the best card thrower in the whole entire world, right? And then someone comes along and he steals your thunder just like that, right? Of course you're going to be, like, on the surface you're going to be congratulating him, but deep down that, you know that should be you in this position, right? You should be the one who is the best, right? And so I think that like that kind of persona that people have, or even if it's just like being a class clown, I guess you could say. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. Like, if you're a class clown, right? I mean, 9% of the time, whoever you are in class does not reflect who you are actually, right? I should probably use dirt. And so I think that's actually probably one of the best references I've actually had in one of these therapy videos, because people like class clowns, right? They're basically meant for other people, right? Not really meant for themselves. Whoa, wait, what? Whoa, well, that's actually kind of cool. But they're basically here to kind of not they're not really okay. I'm not sure if you guys understand what I'm saying, but they're not really here for themselves, right? They're more here geared toward other people, right? That's more what they're here for, right? And so whether it comes to entertaining, to their opinions, to whatever, right? That's just what they're more generally geared toward. Also, I'm sorry if I'm talking really weird or something like that. It's 1:45 a.m. and so I'm like actually kind of scared whenever I hear random noises. Anyways, right? That You basically get the point with that. That's basically my whole argument on the false persona thing. I think that basically sums it up. All right, so the next one we have. Oh, this one's good. They have nothing better to do. And I think I agree to that to some extent, right? Because, it is true. Some people I won't say they need to get a life, but they need to they need to find something more sustainable to do. I think that's the better way to put it, right? Because all they really do, it's like keyboard warriors, I guess you could say. They they basically, I mean, what do they do outside of clowning other people, right? They eat, they sleep, they socialize. But when they socialize, right, what do you talk about, right? If you think you're not interesting enough, then what do you say, right? Then you kind of say stuff about other people, right? And to their face, right, you obviously wouldn't say anything bad. But if it was to other people, then of course you talk smack, right? I think that's part of human nature. And I'm not saying that I haven't in the past, right? I've definitely done that in the past. I'm not the proudest of it, but I definitely think that it's what makes us human, right? I mean, of course we're going to do stuff like this. We have to prove that we're better. I don't really know what we're proving sometimes, right? Sometimes we're not even proving anything. Sometimes we're just doing it purely for the love of the game, I guess you could say. And I don't know how I feel about that, right? There's all these people that kind of wear this, I want to say mask, right? And they kind of wear it, but it gets to a point where sometimes the cracks start to show, right? And you could tell, right? You could tell when the cracks are showing, because even just one little slip up and they're done, right? I mean, you have to be essentially perfect, right? If you're this goody two shoes, right? One slip up, one bad thing, and you're living that for like the rest of your life, right? So maybe it's their way of venting their frustration, I guess you could say. Which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that one either, right? Because it's like, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, right? They have to keep this. I mean, I definitely had to keep a reputation for a while on something, but no, maybe I do understand where they're coming from. Because in my own personal experience, right? Whenever you have to keep a reputation, right? Or whenever you're like, ooh, lucky me. Hold on. Or yeah, no. Like I was saying, whenever you have to keep a reputation or pretty much anything like that. Oh no. Oh no, I can't fight. I can't fight. I just want one piece of iron. No, I'm going back. I'm okay. Please get me back in here. Thank you. I appreciated it while it lasted. And I'm out of here. That's enough caving for me. But you know, like I was saying, right? I think people would do anything to keep their reputation, right? Because like I said, it's their reputation, right? It's kind of what conveys them as a person. So once they lose that, I guess it's kind of like, what are you, right? And I think I struggled a lot with that, right? Because I did have this reputation, right? That I wouldn't want to say, maybe I do want to say that. I kind of had to uphold it, right? Because people expected a lot from me, right? And when people expect things, you kind of don't want to let them down, right? Hold on, let me just write down the coordinates of my base. Negative 1,200. Okay, yeah. Like I was saying, right? When people expect things from you, and when you have like your own reputation, it kind of becomes your identity, right? And so when people take that away, it kind of creates a sense of like, who are you, right? Like, ooh, that's scary. Okay, but like, who are you if you don't have this reputation, right? Who who is this person, right? And it's just like, I don't know, right? And I kind of had to think about that, because people base you off of what they hear from other people, right? Well, at least in most cases, right? Because most of the time, the way you meet new people is from friends of friends, right? And so if your friend says, "Oh, he's a really nice guy," blah 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 blah, right? People are gonna automatically assume like, "Hey, this guy's got a good reputation. He's he's gonna be a great person," right? I don't know what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? A village. Yeah. I don't think they could spawn a dark oak. Yeah. So I definitely think that it's kind of your lifeline, right? Making sure that you're staying afloat, right? Making sure that you're still in the boat, you're still rowing, right? You're still doing all these types of things. Okay. Another thing that I wrote down is, oh, this one's actually not bad, right? This one's they don't want to be mean, right? And this could go two ways, right? The first of like the first example, I guess you could say, that I would have for this is if someone smells awful, right? There is going to be that occasional person who says, "Oh my gosh, this guy reeks," right? But majority of the time, no one's really going to say anything about it, right? They're just going to think about it, and then they're going to kind of, I would say, judge you, right? Or tell their friends about you, right? Like, "Oh my gosh, do not go next to this person," right? They smell awful, right? And so, I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know how you would tell someone about that. Why do I keep dropping my axe? Like, I don't even know what I would do about that. I think what I would do is I would just keep it to myself and just not say anything. But wouldn't that also make me fake, right? I guess it would. So, I guess, I don't know, because you're kind of being, like, rude if you say something about it, right? But you're also being rude if you're not saying something about it. So I think in that case, it's just a lose-lose scenario. So I don't, yeah, there's really nothing much you can do. I mean, unless you're like really polite about it. But there's no polite, I mean, there is a polite way. Well, hold on, was that iron? And I scammed myself. Okay. I mean, I guess there is a polite way to say, "Hey, buddy, you might wanna borrow some of my deodorant." But yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that one. Yeah. So another thing that I have written down is your ego. Right? Can't let other people be better than you. You have to, stir up the mix. I thought it was one shot for Axis. I don't know. Maybe they changed it. But yeah, I think this is also a big one, right? Ego plays a big role in how we function, right? And on our decision makings, right? Because let's just say, for example, in a sport, right, like soccer. I'm not sure if anyone watched Blue Lock, but the whole show is basically about ego. I mean, the manager of the Japan national team, well, at least of Blue Lock, his name is Ego. I mean, I don't know how much clearer the message gets, right? And I think if you watch that series, you kind of understand a little more. Oh my gosh. You kind of understand a little more, right? Because, oh, I didn't bring a bed. Oh no, this is hardcore. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I done messed up. Okay, well, I think we'll get there in time. But yeah, ego definitely plays a massive role on who you are as a person, right? And who you are as a human being, like especially in sports, because when you have the basketball, right? And there's 5 seconds left, right? It's your ball right at the 3-point line. You could make the shot, right? You could save the team. You could let the team win, or you could pass it, right? What are you gonna do, right? And that hugely plays on ego, right? Are you egotistical enough to take that shot, right? Are you willing to possibly sacrifice the win just so then you could get a chance at being the hero, right? And so, I mean, some people might know how they would react, but most people, right, they wouldn't they wouldn't know how they would react until after they took the shot, right? Or until the moment actually comes to them, I should say. Can I get more iron, please? I don't want to be too greedy. Oh, please. Oh, no. I'm cooked. Okay. I think we're going to chill out in a boat because boats are safe. At least I like to think they are. But yeah, ego is a huge role on being fake because just like on how if you're going to take that shot, right? It's like you kind of base, it's kind of like a ranking, right, in your head. Am I above them? Am I below them? Right? And even if you're below them, you still kind of, you still have, people are still fake, right? Even when they're lower on the chain list. I think people are more fake when they're lower, right? Because what do you have to lose, right? You have nothing to lose. You're already that low, right? So you could just take shots at the top, right? Like, for example, if I don't want to say weird kids because that seems like I'm discriminating, but you know who I'm talking about. If you guys have ever been in high school, you know what I'm talking about, right? The kids who are character developing, I should say, right? If those kids, right, take shots at the most popular kids, right, people aren't gonna think much of it, right? Even if it's like, even if they're nice to their face and then they take shots behind their back, right? No one's gonna think much about it, right? Because that's not gonna make them any more popular or any less popular than they are, right? Most likely, most of the time. But if someone really popular, right, is all nice and buddy to these people at the bottom of the popularity food chain, I guess I could say. Am I trapped in here? I think I am. But, you know, if they take shots at the bottom of the food chain, right, and people find out about that, then they're kind of cooked, right? Unless, you know, you go to my school and they just don't care how mean some people want to be, right? Then I guess it doesn't matter, right? But at least I like to believe that humanity is great out there to where some of the time when people take shots, when the higher people take shots at little people, right, the underdogs win. But usually it's not what happens. And then I also wrote self-perspective. Now, what do I mean by this? I have no idea. I don't know what I meant. It's 2 a.m. I'm tired, but doesn't matter, right? I didn't post in the last 2 days. It's because I was taking a nice little break, right? Because I need a break sometimes. And I did say I was going to post every day, right? I remember saying that. And I guess I'm fake for that, right? Because I lied to you guys, right? I made this false persona that I was a creator who posts every day. And now suddenly I'm just a creator now, right? I don't post every day. I lied, right? So maybe I guess I'm being fake there. But hopefully you guys could cut me a little slack there, because maybe that's the reason, right? Maybe people are trying. Even though they are fake, they're still trying, right? I mean, they don't Ooh. I mean, some people don't mean to be fake, right? I think they subconsciously do it because they don't really realize. All right, so this is the plan. I'm just going to go in, try and get there, get out as fast as possible without getting hit. But yeah, no, they don't really try, right? They don't try and be fake. They don't intend for this to happen. It just kind of does happen. You know what I mean? All right, here's the plan. Here's the method. Okay. Just got to go little by little. Yeah. So now I'm safe, right? But they kind of, I don't know if they know that they're being fake half the time. Which I guess it's kind of, I don't know if I can mine this. I'm going to try. Wow, I got scammed. Okay. But you know, it's almost like they accidentally do it. Oh no. My heart just dropped. Yeah, I'm not getting out of here. I'm sorry if this is boring, but I guess we can go down to the last topic because I didn't really know where to go off that. And I've just lost all thought because I almost just died of my hardcore world. Okay, it's fine. Another one is subconscious hatred. Oh yeah, no. I think that. Alright, let's be real, right? Let's take it at face value. You look at someone, you're gonna get immediate judgments, right? You're gonna immediately judge them based off of their appearance, based off something like that, right? And I think that that kind of creates almost like a subconscious, I wouldn't say hatred, but I would say something along the lines of that. So, dude, this is horrifying. Why is there so many zombies? I found them, guys. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm losing all track of what I'm thinking about because I just wanted some loot. And now here we are. But I think there are good guys out there, right? Definitely. Hold on, let me check how much time I've been recording for. 21 minutes. Oh no, I need to make a full video out of this. 21 minutes is not gonna cut it. But yeah, you definitely need to understand that there are people out there who genuinely aren't fake, right? Like, but that kind of those kind of people, right? They exist, but you don't render them existing because you don't like them. And that's because all they do is speak the truth, right? And the truth is 90% of the time not what people want to hear. Right? And let's face it, right? If every time I talk to someone they said, "Oh, I think that you're awful," right? I don't like your style, right? I'm going to be pretty hurt, pretty offended by that, right? But okay, I found the chest. But let's be real, right? What if they're telling the truth, right? And they might be. They might be telling the truth in this case. Because their style might actually just suck or... Okay. How am I going to get there safely? I don't think I can. Okay. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Okay. But yeah. People genuinely just can't accept the truth, right? Which I guess that's fine. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Wow. Wow. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is the end of the Minecraft therapy series. I don't know if this is the end of the Minecraft series. I don't know. Wow. I have school tomorrow. Well, if you guys don't like the Minecraft series, congratulations. It might be over. If you do like the Minecraft series, I'm sorry. I suck at the game. But if you want me to continue playing, just let me know in the comments. And if no one comments about it, I will not play hardcore anymore. Man, I don't know what to say. My house is forever gone. Whoa, that looked bad for a second. Um, I mean, it's not the best house, but it's a house. It was my house, and this wonderful view is forever gone. And can I even load my death? I don't know. Probably not. But I can't even load anything. Wow. Man. Oh man. That was stupid of me. Well, I think I'm gonna end the recording off here. I think I've had enough for tonight. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys want me to continue playing this game, please let me know. And yeah, peace out.